Welcome to Picks on the Bluffs college coverage for Week 6 of the 2012-2013 season. I am your host, Richard Reed, along with my co-host,
Sassy Sam.
Sassy Sam. Yeah, don't it sound girly? But
Yeah.
this is take 2. My camera died last time, but we're going to get this through this time. So let's, no big fiascos of last week. No big upsets. No big. Well, there was one game with Virginia Tech and Cincinnati when they Hail Married the last play, but that was an unranked Big Ten ACC matchup. We're not even going to talk about that crap. Let's get to the ranked matchups and our quick picks. Starting off with our Thursday night game of number 13 USC and at Utah.
USC being 3-1, going against a 2-2 Utah. I'm taking USC on this.
Gotta take USC. Utah is the first time we've heard about them. If not, it's the first time I remember them being in the picks. So gotta go with USC. I'll get to what the rankings are at the end of the video. So next up, our Saturday matchups: number 23 Washington at number 2 Oregon.
Washington coming in there at 3-1, going against a 5-0 Oregon. I'm taking Oregon on this.
Gotta go Oregon. They're the Quackers, but Washington, they're 23, but haven't showed me much who they can beat. So Oregon wins. ACC matchup: number 3 Florida State at North Carolina State.
Florida State coming in there at 5-0 against North Carolina State, 3-2. I'm taking the Seminoles on this.
Gotta go with Florida State. They're a strong team. They jumped LSU, I think, this week to number 3.
Yeah, they did.
Wouldn't matter to me if North Carolina State won, actually. I'd take the loss, but going with Florida State. Next up, our first SEC top 10 matchup: number 4 LSU at the Swamp with number 10 Florida.
4-0 LSU going against a 4-0 Florida team. LSU, like I said, hasn't impressed me very much. I'm taking the Gators this week.
Yes, like we said in take 1, look at who LSU has played. Last week, Towson. Their first SEC game they played Auburn. They barely won 12-10, and Auburn only has one win. Florida has played a few good teams. Who has Florida played?
They played Kentucky, and they've also played another SEC team.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what.
And they beat both of them 2 SEC teams. So I'm still looking like Florida's going to do something here.
I'm liking Florida's chances in this game. This is, I guess, both of our upsets. But now we get to the second top 10 ranked matchups for the SEC. Number 5 Georgia at number 6 South Carolina.
Both teams coming in there at 5-0. I'm going to take South Carolina at home. So definitely South Carolina.
Another mention, game day is going to be there. They start at 11 o'clock on ESPN if you like to watch it. But I'm going Georgia here, even though one of their top receivers is going to be out for the rest of the season. He tore his ACL in practice. But I'm still thinking Georgia will win this game. They're just on a drive to victory. But you never know. So next up, it's Kansas at number 7, Kansas State.
Kansas coming in there at 1-3, going against a 4-0 Kansas State. At home, I'm taking Kansas State.
It's really, there's no home field advantage. They're both in Kansas.
Yeah.
But I'm liking Kansas State, who upset Oklahoma. Kansas, they just hadn't played anybody. So Kansas State wins this one. West Virginia, number 8, scored 70 points last week at number 11 Texas. Another top 20 matchup.
Virginia coming in there at 4-0, and Texas coming in there at 4-0. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm taking Texas this week. I'm sorry, I'm taking West Virginia this week.
Yeah, that's not the upset. I have a lot of people saying that's the upset. No, Texas is ranked lower.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm going with West Virginia.
let's see. West Virginia scoring 70 points with Geno Smith. Gotta go West Virginia.
Yep.
I mean, that's how many points they scored in the Orange Bowl against Clemson. So, I'm going with them. Gotta go with them. Next up, Miami of Florida at number 9, Notre Dame.
Miami of Florida coming in there at 4-1, going against Notre Dame 4-0. I'm going to take Notre Dame on this one.
Yeah, Notre Dame has a strong team this year. It's, and they'll probably run all over Miami, but Miami has, I think they have 2 straight games where they barely got a win out of it. No,
Right.
it's just one game. And then last week I think they got a good game, but Notre Dame still wins. Next up, number 21 Nebraska at number 12 Ohio State.
Nebraska coming in there at 4-1, going against Ohio State being 5-0. I'm taking the Buckeyes on this one.
I really wanted Nebraska. Ohio State was one of the teams I picked an upset against. That didn't turn out. Nebraska was another team I turned out for an upset. And that didn't turn out either. I'm going with Ohio State. So, next up, Washington State at Oregon State, number 14.
Washington State coming in there 2-3, going against Oregon State, which is 3-0. I'm taking Oregon State.
Oregon State, yeah. My pick as well. Washington State haven't heard anything from them. I think they, hadn't heard anything. I'm going with Oregon State. Going with the Beavers. Iowa State at number 15, TCU.
Iowa State coming in there 3-1, going against TCU 4-0. I'm taking TCU on this one.
I think TCU, the Horny Toads, will keep their active winning streak alive, beating Iowa State this week. ACC matchup next. Georgia Tech at number 15, Clemson.
Georgia Tech coming in there at 2-3. Clemson coming in there at 4-1. I'm taking Clemson on this.
This one I really had to think about. Clemson is never good against Georgia Tech. We could be beating everybody we play 70-0, and then Georgia Tech will come into town, and then we'll be beat 70-0. This game is always a throw up. But seeing as Georgia Tech lost to Middle Tennessee 49-21 last week, going with the Tigers. So that was embarrassing for Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Next up, number 17, Oklahoma at Texas Tech.
Oklahoma coming in there at 2-1. Texas Tech coming in there at 4-0. I'm gonna go with upset. I'm taking Texas Tech on this one.
Great minds think alike. Upset alert here. Texas Tech wins. Arizona at number 18, Stanford.
Arizona coming in there at 4-1, going against Stanford, which is 3-1. I'm taking Stanford on this one.
Stanford is a good pick for me. Arizona. I thought about picking Arizona, but seeing as their record and some of their stats, but I like Stanford in this one. Another SEC matchup, number 20, Mississippi State at Kentucky.
Mississippi State coming in there at 4-0, going against 1-4 Kentucky. I'm taking Mississippi State on that.
You gotta go with Mississippi State. I mean, Kentucky, it's bottom of the SEC every year.
Yeah.
Connecticut at number 22, Rutgers.
Connecticut coming in there at 3-2 with the Rutgers being 4-0. I'm taking the Rutgers on this one.
Gotta go with the Scarlet Knights. They're usually Connecticut. I don't think we'll beat them. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Number 24, Northwestern at Penn State.
Northwestern coming in there at 5-0 versus Penn State 3-2. I'm gonna take Northwestern on this.
Yeah, I like Penn State's they're just not getting it this year. I mean,
Penn State's still trying to get over all them trouble they were in for.
Yeah, so it got to go on Northwestern. They'll stay in the top 25. And our last top 25 matchup, number 25 UCLA at Cal.
UCLA coming in there 4-1 against California 1-4. I'm taking UCLA on this.
Yeah, UCLA is going to probably tear them up. So, yeah. And now for the quick picks, ACC, SEC, non-ranked games that we didn't get. Boston College at Army.
Boston College coming in there at 1-3, and Army coming in there with 0 wins. I'm taking Boston College on this.
That's a good pick to me. I mean, Boston College did show something against Clemson last week, but Clemson did win, so Boston College can take Army on. ACC matchup, Virginia Tech at North Carolina.
Virginia Tech coming in there at 3-2 against a 3-2 North Carolina. I'm taking the Tech on this one.
I'm going with North Carolina. They beat who they played last week, 70-something to nothing, but I think it was just Idaho. So, yeah, I'm picking North Carolina. Virginia at Duke.
Virginia 2-3 coming in there against a 4-1 Duke. Taking Duke on this one.
Yeah, Duke has surprised me this year, 4-1.
Yeah.
Only phone's ringing again, but I'm picking Duke in this one. It's kept on at the beginning of the year they were cupcakes, but no, they were winning, so Duke wins. Wake Forest at Maryland.
Wake Forest coming in there at 3-2 going against a 2-2 Maryland. I'm taking Wake Forest on this one.
Another one we're against. I like the Terps. They played West Virginia a good game when they played. So Maryland wins. Arkansas at Auburn.
Arkansas 1-4 against a 1-3 Auburn. I'm taking Arkansas.
Picking Arkansas. So this is probably a matchup of the two worst SEC teams right now.
Yeah.
I don't think Arkansas is going to smile this week either with an Auburn win. Vanderbilt and Missouri.
Vanderbilt being 1-3 going against a 3-2 Missouri. I'm taking Missouri on this.
You know, I gotta go with Vanderbilt. Ever since Missouri lost to Georgia, they haven't played. It's probably that quarterback's fault. So I'm liking Vanderbilt in this one. And then finally, to end it all off, Texas A&M and Ole Miss.
Texas A&M coming in there 3-1 going against a 3-2 Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss on this.
Taking Ole Miss. I gotta go with A&M. So a lot of our quick picks we are against, so maybe I can catch up to you with you a little bit.
We'll see. What's the stats this week?
Well, we gotta go with the rankings. Let's see. Get my handy dandy notebook out.
Last I checked, I think I was ahead of you. I don't know for sure though.
Yep. So the stats for last week. In first position, Annette Todd with 130. Second position is Sassy Sam with 128. Tied for third is John Todd and Matt Miller with 126. Tied for fifth is Bobby Sprout and Amber Maynard with 123, and I'm dead last again with 122.
Again. Okay, I just want to check and make sure.
Again. Not denying it, I'm still down there.
Alright, man, this is Sassy Sam signing out.
And this is Richard Reed. We all shall see everybody next week.
Alright, man.
Peace.